How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Continues to Tick. My name is Jesse. Another week has gone by, another update video of my portfolio, another week of funneling $500 into this portfolio and growing that dividend, trying to grow that passive stream of income. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm 25 years old. I work for the state of California. I'm trying to grow a pension, so that would be a source of income. I'm trying to grow this dividend growth portfolio, which would be another. And then I'm also eventually trying to get into real estate. But anyone that knows California, you know the barrier to entry is quite high. But if this is your first time swinging by, it's awesome to have you. My channel is really small. I'm trying to stay consistent with these videos. Have fun doing it. I really think a lot about the future and I like seeing the progress. And this week we've actually crossed the 6K mark, which is actually pretty cool. So before we get started, this week I actually brought up, a little template here of things I want to cover in this video. So that is a little bit differently than what we're used to if you watched any of my previous videos. So let's get started. This is where we're at, guys. I already got it and placed my order for the second time. I guess it's actually worked for some people. They just kind of murdered the place order button and they were able to get one, but it's not looking good. I'm gonna give up here pretty soon because I've been at it here for a while. Technically on another website here, it's already saying, if you actually just go to GameStop, they're already saying they're sold out. So I was lucky enough to get here. It's not looking good. Another fail for a PS5 pre-order. The PS5 pre-orders have been so hard to get. I've been trying my hardest to get one. I already pre-ordered an extra controller. I got the NBA 2K21, the Mamba edition. All I need is this console, and I still cannot get it. The journey of getting a PS5 continues. Or I guess I should say the journey of trying to pre-order a PS5. It continues. I know I'm not the only one. The next thing I wanted to talk about is just the channel update. My channel is really new. I just started it. I think it's less than 2 months, a little over a month now, and I really enjoy it. Right now, all I have going is this series of my dividend growth portfolio. If you've seen any of my other videos, and I've mentioned it before, I'm a big thinker of the future. I'm a big, deep thinker in general. So in addition to this dividend growth portfolio series, I'm going to end up starting a different series as well on the side. For this series, I'm going to be doing some pretty creative little videos where I choose a topic and I go into a deep discussion or a deep thought about it. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about when I get the first one out. I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully it turns out well. The first one may be a little rough around the edges, but hopefully as that series continues, it'll smoothen out and it'll get more creative and better and more enhanced with time. So I'm looking forward to it. The third thing I wanted to touch on today, just recently, because I do work for the state of California, every year that goes by, it is a pretty big deal. I am working towards a pension, so every year that I work, I get 2% towards that pension. I set the goal of trying to work at least, at max, 20 years. I'm really trying to work just 20 years, 25 years, I guess, if I really have to, but I'm trying to retire individually. I mean, not through age. I can't retire technically in 20 years, but for myself, just the personal retirement in 20 years. So 20 years, got one down, so 19 more years to go at this job. And those that know, when you work for the state, people have really long careers. Even though 20 years seems like a long time, it's pretty realistic to stay working for the state for 20 years because you can kind of move around, you can hop around, you can still technically work for the state of California. You're just working in different departments. So it's exciting. Got 1 year down, 19 more to go. The journey on that front continues as well. So with all that out the way, here we are at Jesse's cash flow portfolio. It's a dividend growth portfolio, not too much growth yet. It's still a really young portfolio, but it has been paying me some dividends. Some weeks better than others. 2 weeks ago, I think it was the best week. So if you've seen my previous videos, I kind of showed that. This week, I was paid some dividends. Nothing like in previous weeks, but that's kind of how it rolls sometimes. Some weeks are going to be a little flat. Some weeks are going to be great. Some months are going to be flat. Some months are going to be great. Last week, I actually threw in an additional $500 into the portfolio. The Dow Jones, or just the overall market in general, it dipped quite a bit and it presented a pretty good buying opportunity. So I had to take advantage of it this time, just because I haven't taken advantage of it in the past. As you can see here, this was last week. My portfolio started dipping and then I actually funneled in an additional $500 and this week has actually been okay. So we're technically almost in the green for the overall portfolio, just down, less than 0.2%, only $5 or so. This week has actually been well, just pretty much coming off last week in general. My portfolio is going to go up just because last week the market overall it did dip. So progress is being made. It's interesting and it's nice to see that, because I did cross the 6K mark, because my portfolio in size overall is growing, a lot of my holdings and their values are growing as well, as you can see here. So my biggest holding technically is real estate. It's just 1% more than I have in other sectors. Or I guess the ETF index is 20% overall, so that's my biggest holding. I do try to diversify my portfolio. A downside is I may be over diversified. I have 51 companies that I hold, and I have 20% of my overall portfolio in ETF or index funds. I may be over diversified, but like I said, I'm learning as I go. I'd rather be over diversified than under. I don't get sick to my stomach when I see big drops in money when it comes to my investing portfolio, but being over diversified or diversified, sure, it can lead to slower growth, but at the end of the day, I'm getting paid dividends, and that's what this portfolio is all about. This last week, I was able to get paid, a couple dividends in return. I got paid from LMT, Lockheed Martin Corp, Digital Realtor Trust, and then PepsiCo. PepsiCo is one of my favorite companies. I'm a Pepsi over a Coke guy. I actually don't hold Coke. Coke is another good company, but I'm a Pepsi over Coke guy. And I really do like chips. So every time I buy chips, I don't feel guilty about buying them. It actually makes me want to buy more chips. And as you can see here, October 1st, which is today, which is Thursday, I funneled in the $500 for this week into my portfolio, and then I purchased again into 50 companies. I'm curious as to why it was 50 instead of 51. Normally it's 51. I haven't really looked into it to see which company is the one I didn't buy this week. So that's actually interesting. I just noticed that right now. But that's it where we are this week, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. We finally crossed the 6K mark. Like I said, stay tuned for that new series coming to this channel. I'm having fun with it, and I'll keep having fun with it as I fine tune it, as it goes along its own journey as well. But the weekend's here. Let's look on the short term for once, and let's get to that weekend and rest. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.